Ever since Fortnite announced the Fracture event, the community has been split down the middle. Many people are debating on whether or not this was a good move to push us all the way into Chapter 4, or maybe we should stay in Chapter 3 and just have a Season 5. Personally, I understand what Epic is doing, and I think that moving Fortnite into a Chapter 4 is the best option. And to top it off, with where the story is going, I honestly don't see how we could have much more to do in a Chapter 3. Ultimately, what Epic is trying to do is end Fortnite, but not in the way that you would think. I think the Fracture event is basically Epic's way of using the story as a giant reset button. And after December 3rd, everything in the game will be different. What tipped me off to this were 4 key details given in the Paradise quests. The first was that the Seven have lost the war. The second is that Paradigm is actually trying to reset the 0 point because it's currently dormant. Third is that reality will never be the same because they lost. And fourth, and probably most importantly, they're going to try to break the loop. Early on in the season, I had predicted that the Seven were actually going to lose this skirmish. However, I had never considered the possibility that they would actually try to break the loop. This is not the first time that this has been attempted in Fortnite. You have to remember that Midas tried this back in Chapter 2, Season 2, and it had disastrous effects on the Fortnite island. But I suppose the Seven's reasoning is the island is already lost, so why not go ahead and break everything? So the Nothing, ironically, are left with nothing. In the Seven's mind, this is probably the only way they can think to win, to break the loop and to also help the loopers escape to potentially a new reality. The problem is, I don't think they realize what they're doing. And this is the issue that the Seven have always had. They're so quick to make decisions and never think of the consequences that follow. However, in this instance, I'm going to give them a bit of a pass because they really don't have many options left. Unfortunately, I think they're going to end up damaging the 0 point to a degree in which they never have before, and that's where the fracturing comes in. Earlier this week, Hypex tweeted out about a leaked backbling that he thinks is going to be given out to Fortnite players who participated in the event. The backbling is called the Zero Fragment, and it actually spoils the upcoming live event. Ask yourself this simple question: how does one get a fragment? By shattering something. So in the Fracture event, it's not just going to be space or time or the island that gets fractured. It's actually going to be the 0 point. Which means next month could be the first season where we don't have a 0 point on the island at all. And if there's no 0 point on the island, there probably won't be a loop, which means there's no storm. And I'll be totally honest, I can't really see how Fortnite would work without a storm mechanic. However, I do think I know where the story is going to go. In Chapter 4, I'm pretty sure the theme and one of the main things we'll be tasked with is collecting 0 point fragments throughout all of reality. Maybe even traveling through space and time to grab them. I also feel like this is where we'll see Geno. Originally, I thought he was going to show up in the live event, but I just have this feeling that Fortnite's going to try to save Geno for later on in Chapter 4. One thing I do think that'll happen in the story is wherever we end up for Chapter 4, I think that's where Geno is going to be located. Keep in mind, Geno is still alive, and I think that he's fully aware of what's going on right now. And even if he's not aware of all the major details, I'm pretty sure he was able to calculate what the Seven would end up doing, and he's probably created a safe space for himself to thrive for the end of the Omniverse. Even Geno himself is preparing for the end of Fortnite. Now, when I say Fortnite is going to end, I don't mean the entire game. Epic makes way too much money off of Fortnite just to shut it down. But in terms of the story, the loop, the IO, the Seven, the last reality, this story is reaching a climax, and I think Epic realizes that. Right now, we're seeing a lot of video games go through a rebirth phase. Overwatch 2 and Warzone 2 just dropped this year. It's not too unreasonable to believe that Epic wants to create a Fortnite 2 to stay competitive. And I think that's why they're making the decision to not just end the story, but end Fortnite Chapter 3 where it is right now. Ultimately, after the Fracture event, one of two things is going to happen. One is that we'll get Fortnite 2.0, which will end up being Fortnite like Book 2. It'll have new mechanics, a new story, new characters to get involved in with a new island, or we'll just have Fortnite Chapter 4, but this will be the bookend to this entire story that they've been building up for the past 5 years. Fortnite is ultimately trying to keep their game relevant to everyone, and they have to be competitive with other games in order to get people to play theirs. And I think that's what people need to think about when we're looking at whether or not Fortnite needs to move on to Chapter 4 or stay in Chapter 3. Whatever the decision ends up being, I'm excited for it. I also have a few ideas of my own on how Epic should change the game, and if you want to see those, click on this video right here. Also, while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. That way we can watch the live event together here on YouTube when it happens. I love you guys, and I'll catch you soon. Peace out.